All right, we just are about to begin the second game. First ball about to be bowled.
Shorter delivery, punch, two covers for no run. I would say this game will not be as high scoring as the previous one. What do you reckon, Trace?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the heat and just the fact that it's been played on for 20, 40 overs now has created cracks, and I feel some uneven balance is going to be in play here.
Yeah, definitely.
That's popped up. Just dropped short, a short mid wicket there. Looks like the ball climbed a bit on the batter.
Yeah, early signs of a slow pitch, and there is also seam off the wicket here.
Good start so far. 3 dots on the track and perfect lines by Suhani.
And that is edged down to deep third, and deep third is a good back and cuts that off to just 1 run. This is a great first over here so far by Sohani, keeping her line and lengths tight. Um, Not really letting the batters free their arms and get going.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's another battle of experience here. Chetan's coming off a good knock yesterday, and Suhani has been bowling brilliantly since yesterday as well. So it's going to be good to watch them both experience, both with international experience, go against each other.
Yeah. That one stayed low, and that is an inside edge down to fine leg, and it will just be 1 run here.
No, we were just talking about that uneven balance coming into play. I think you're 100% correct on that. Doesn't look like it's going to be a high-scoring game, this one, especially with the amount of play that's already been made on it.
Yeah, and it will keep getting worse too. So I think anything above 130 in this game would should be a good score here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's also a great toss that the Houston Hurricanes had won. Um, Great choice to choose batting first as well.
Yeah.
Is clipped down the legs, but it doesn't have it. Just
And
stops. Didn't have the legs to reach the boundary. They do sneak in a two there. Top first over, given 4 runs in the first over. The second bowler into play is Maya. We saw her yesterday. Had some good starts.
yeah, Chitna's coming off a good knock here from yesterday. Confidence will be high for her, and she will be looking to make a big score today as well. Rising Stars lost a close game yesterday. They could definitely take away a lot of positives from that game, and we'll try to implement them today as well. And Maya getting ready for her first ball of her spell. This one upish towards backward point and no run here. Push to mid off by Chetna and brilliantly cut off. There will be no run here.
Yeah, great work of bowling so far. Sticking to those lines that are going away from the lefty is making it a much tougher option for them to take it over the top. And again, the wicket is not suited.
Absolutely agree with you on that. Tossed up a little bit, and that is pushed down to long on for just one run. The batter's taking their time to get settled in, and that is the right choice to make on this wicket, as we have seen that batters have had the most success when they took a little bit of time to get settled in.
Yeah, I totally agree, Nathik.
Thanks for agreeing, Shrez.
Sainavi to face her first ball from Maya today. Just dropped right to short mid wicket, getting another dot there. Good tight bowling from Maya to keep the batters on the crease and trying to build as much pressure as they can at the starting.
I think afternoon games are definitely harder on this wicket, especially since the temperature tends to get hotter as well. It's relative to the morning.
Yeah, I think with the rise in heat, the cracks also tend to expand, and the moisture also dissipates from the wicket.
Yeah.
You heard that? Well played. A top over so far, only one run given. Maya really sticking to her lines here. Last ball of the second over here.
Down the wicket, upish, falls short of short mid, and will be one run.
That's the second over done of the power play. 6 for no loss in 2 overs.
Sohani comes back for a second over. Coming off a brilliant first over, she will be looking to do the same here. Some extra bounce on this delivery. I reckon the best option for the bowlers on this type of wicket is to just pitch it at good spots and let the wicket do the rest, not think too much. What would you say about that, Shreyas?
No, I totally agree. I think when there's something the wicket has to offer, there's no point in a bowler trying to do too much to try to get that wicket. I feel just letting the pitch do its natural work. And it's a shout, and it is not given.
Relatively strong appeal from the fielding side. There seemed to be some swing and seam off in the air and off the pitch on this delivery, swing and seaming
Just looking
out.
at that replay here as well. A bit of outward movement off the release. Yes, it's got very close to the edge of that. Great shout, great ball by Suhani. Yeah, I know. Going back to the topic of letting the wicket do its thing. Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. When a wicket's breaking up and is giving a lot of movement off the seam and off the wicket, I feel a bowler should just use the wicket and stick to their lines. and let the wicket do its natural work to get the batters out.
Yeah, and I think so far Sohani and the bowler from the other end have been doing that brilliantly so far,
Great shot though,
and
hitting the
that goes
proper gap.
away all the way to the boundary. Yeah, Sohani and Maya have been both using the pitch well. This was slightly on the shorter side, drifting a little bit down leg, and the batter was quick on picking that early and getting that away for a boundary. That was a brilliant shot by
Sainavi.
Sainavi. That's a good ball. Flat batted to short covers, where short covers cuts that off for no run here. It's a good bit of fielding. Never easy on a slightly uneven outfield. This will definitely be an interesting matchup though. Both of the teams are really strong, and you can expect a nail biter coming here soon. That one's just a little bit down leg by Sohani, just missing her line a little bit.
Yeah, last ball of the third over of the power play, and so far they haven't really capitalized on the field restrictions here, just having 11 runs in 2.5 overs. Again, going back to the previous game, I think games are made and broken in the power play here, and that could be
And
a catch, and it drops a pitch short.
that was a brilliant bit of running though. Good
Yeah,
game awareness to complete that single.
yeah, totally agree. I think again going back to that point, I felt the ball rose on the batter a little more than it should have, and really caught them off guard. End of the third over, 12 runs in 3 overs with no loss.
Good start by Rising Stars here so far. They've done great to keep their line and lengths good despite a few odd deliveries.
I think the trend so far today has also been towards the end of the power plays when runs start flowing. I think once the batters get settled in a bit, it's going to help them a lot to hit those gaps and hit those boundaries that they're looking forward to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think Sainavi has played 14 balls now, and she's really starting to get settled in, eyeing the ball well. I'm sure she'll be taking advantage of the power play really soon. Drifting down leg, and Sainavi is unable to put that away for a boundary. I'm sure she feels that she missed out on that one.
Yeah, and now as we sit here now, I think a good gust of wind is blowing in the direction of the batsman as well. So with a bit of help of wind, I think they can back themselves around this end.
Yeah. Tossed up in the air, the long on fielder coming under it. Actually long off
It is
and
put down,
put down.
unfortunately. I think this is a bit of a trend today with the blue sky. It's hard to judge the ball when with a clear blue sky because you have nothing to gouge the distance of the ball going in the air. Just looking back on that, it was a good run from the mid-off. Just reaching there, but not able to hold on to it.
And Sainavi survives. Good bit of bowling from Maya too. Swinging into the right-handed batter.
It's
It's
very well
another
bowled.
brilliant delivery by Maya.
Yeah, I think the difference in pace on each end really catches the batter off guard. When someone's a bit quicker on one end and the other is a lot more movement, it's hard to adjust very quickly, especially since it's just it could be a one ball gap, or not even a one over gap.
Yeah, it forces the batters to constantly making adjustments and never really get settled in, which is why I think that's really good.
It is edged and it does go to short third. Batter sneaking a single there, and there's 2 balls left in the fourth over of the power play. It's a hot day here in Seattle. The energy seems to be a bit low right now. Don't hear much talk in the ground. Just guided away to short third, and it has gone racing away, but does it have the legs? It does not. The batter sneak into a well-placed shot by Sainavi. Last ball of the over, 16 and 3.5 for no loss. I think, what do you think? Do you think they should be utilizing the power play more, or do you feel like they're going well according to the pitch conditions?
I think they're going about 4 runs and over so far. They're not that far behind. We know it's a difficult wicket to bat on, and both of them quality
Going to be what's most important in these games. And that is over up, 17 and 4 overs for no loss. Suhani comes back for a third with only 10 runs and 2 overs given. Batters don't seem to be getting some timing off the wicket yet. Still being a bit of uneven bounce here. I think we're looking at more at like a 120, 130 total here. What do you say, Nitik?
Yeah, I think it would be something close to that. Because even when wickets fall, new batters would take time to adjust on a difficult track, and I think anything over 120, 130 would be a good total to defend.
It's a top class shot right over the bowler's head, reaching
4
the pitch of the
runs.
ball and absolutely blasted that to the boundary. 4 runs for Sainavi. Just looking back at that, it was great use of the feet. Great placement of the ball too. Couple bounces and gone to the boundary for 4. Well done by Sainavi, taking back the attack to the bowlers. It's good to see that the batters are putting a bit of pressure on the bowling team now. Once
This
again,
one is up in the air again and blocked by deep third. Chitna only having faced 6 deliveries so far, while Sainavi has played 16, keeping much of the strike so far. And that is pushed a bit on him again for another quick single. This is good running by both of these batters out here.
yeah, I don't see much energy on the ground right now. I think the heat just kind of beating down a bit right now. Energy's quite low.
Yeah, the temperature approaching about 80 degrees now, and it will be hot throughout this entire game. Tapped backward point for no run. Good bit of fielded by backward point here. Still coming to me.
Last ball of the over here of the fifth over of the power play. 23 for no loss so far. And that's over up, the fifth over of the power play here. Water's coming in. 23 for no loss for 5. Well bowled by Ritu Singh. The idea was right. I think she wanted to tempt the batter to try to go and take it over the offside, especially as an off spinner bowling to a lefty.
Brilliant delivery by Ritu Singh again. Goes through everyone, and that will be 2 runs. Brilliantly cut off by the third man fielder.
Well bowled. It's taking a bit low there. This is really holding our line here.
Yeah, early signs that spin will get assistance following on, continuing on from the second innings of the last game. I think spinners will be the key in this game. Oh, a little
That has
bit of
gone a
extra
bit
turn.
straight through. On the arm or gloves.
Singh coming in for a 4th ball now.
Well
Tossed up
bowled.
once again.
Not the explosive start we saw in the morning, but still with no loss. The Houston Hurricanes are 26 in, with 2 balls remaining in their power play. It's just gone over the mid-off fielder, and it goes racing away to the boundary for 4. Good use of feet there by Chaitna to get to the pitch and really use and play with the spin.
I think this is what the batters will have to be to cover the spin, as that we have seen playing in the crease is not working out too well for the batters. This is a brilliant example of how it should be done by Chaitna. Once again, stuck in the crease a little bit, extra bounce and extra turn.
And that does wrap up the power play with 30 runs for no loss. The Houston Hurricanes are still with their openers. Let's see what they do next.
New bowler introduced into the attack, Kartiki.
Quick adjustments being made on the field.
I think this is the over that the Houston batters should look to attack, as a pacer in these conditions is a lot easier to play compared to a spinner. What do you think about that, Shreyas?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think with the pace on offer and stopping that was a brilliant shot, hitting that backward point gap, just guiding it to the boundary. Well done by Sainavi to hit that gap. I think these runs are going to really count in the long run. And I totally agree with you on that. The pacer remark, spinners are really hard to hit, especially when the wicket's breaking up. I think, just looking back at that, well played. Yeah, I totally agree. The spinners are going to be really hard to hit as the day goes on too. So I think it's really important that they pile on the runs with the pacers, bowling with the new ball. So just so we know, like once the ball get old, it doesn't travel as far as it does when it's new.
That one stays low slightly, and good thinking by the batters to complete a quick single. Brilliant ball here by Kartiki. Good comeback from her first two deliveries. How do you think Kartiki is bowling so far, Shreyas?
I think it's good. I think again we talked about the using the wicket early on in this game. It's really important to hit the wicket, not really give the batters what they want, give it right underneath their bat. And that again is guided for four. I think they're hitting that backward point grab beautifully. First Sainavi and now Chetna. Again, this is an expensive over. And it looks like they needed the power play to actually end for them to start get going.
Yeah, I think they've caught up on their run right now. They're above 6 and over, which I think is perfectly fine in the current conditions.
Yeah, I also do think the Houston Hurricanes is a great bowling attack, so I feel like a 120 at like a six run rate required, or even a 130 is very defendable for them.
Yeah, and just another wide here. Rising Stars really letting go of the pressure that they created for the past 6 overs. I think spinners and extras are the key in these type of low-scoring games because every run counts. That's a much better delivery from Kartiki. Good thinking by the batters to sneak in another quick single here.
Again going to the batting aspect, the Rising Stars also do have a good batting lineup on their side, especially with the quick fire runs from Ritu Singh. I think that a 130 total is very defendable, but it's all the matter of how the wicket breaks up in the evening. So far, 12 runs in the 4 balls Kartiki has bowled is 42 for 0 in 6.4. I think the batters really look to capitalize on this over, especially since the start they got 12 runs in 4 balls. If they get a couple of more boundaries, I think they're going to reach that 7 runs and over, maybe 8 runs and over mark. That is smacked. Use the feet, and it's gone racing away to the boundary for 4. Great use of feet there by Sainavi, really taking it to the pitch. That was a good ball by Tia as well. Really trying to hit that length spot, but with a bit of a premeditated mind, Sainavi came out, and it was great. Good effort at the boundary, but unfortunately could not stop it.
Yeah, brilliant shot here by Sainavi, and this is proving to be an expensive over by Kartiki. She will be looking to finish this off well.
And it's edged, and it is put down by the keeper. The batter sneaking a single, and that is over up for Kartiki. Ending with 17 runs in that over, the Houston Hurricanes are well back in. Just looking back at that, trying to do the same thing over again, trying to reach that pitch of the ball. Just this one, Kartiki bowled a bit wide. I think maybe a bit of a premeditated step, let the bowler get on top of the batter there. Well adjusted, just to not support from the keeper there. Again, coming back to the spin option, and now it's to Sainavi, the righty. Let's see how this goes. Bit of a windy day here, just a quick adjustments in the field. The deep fielders out are deep mid wicket, long on, and long off. And Ritu now sends sweeper down to the boundary. It is a 4-5 field right now, and it seems to be more packed in the offside. That is gone, and is gone straight to short mid wicket, and Sainavi departs. That is the first ball for Ritu in her second over, and she takes out the opener. Sainavi departs for 26 off 27, and that is the first wicket down for the Houston Hurricanes. Pooja Ganesh, the captain, is into bat here. The first wicket falls for the Houston Hurricanes, and again yesterday, Chetna and Pooja did end up playing really well. Second ball of Ritu's over. First ball for Pooja Ganesh. That's guided past point. Well placed. First shot, and it's gone racing away to the boundary for four. Great shot by Pooja. First ball of her day. So now I think, what do you think is going to happen now, especially with these two powerhouses on the wicket?
I think um, I think these two will definitely look to build a good partnership here. They'll take their time. They'll look to build their innings, similar to what the two experienced players in the previous game did, Anika and Isani.
Runs are still flowing. They are going at a 6.93 run rate right now, 52 for 1 and 7.3. And two very experienced batters on strike, both with international experience. Projected score so far is 138. That is well bowled. A lot of turn on offer. Really catching Pooja off guard there. That's just dab to backward point, and the batters take a quick run. Great piece of work from the non-striker to really analyze and give a quick call to run to the striker's end. Chetna on strike with Ritu's last ball of the over. That's dab to long off, and that is the over for Ritu. An eventful over with first ball having a wicket, then proceeding with the 4 dot wide dot and 2 singles there. The Houston Hurricanes are going at 6.75 in 8 overs up, 54 for 1. Alright, Tara comes into bowler first over to Chetna. That's gone. That's cracked through covers, and it's a great piece of effort fielding, and it could be a run out, but it is not. Good dive there by the covers fielder, really stopping that really good time shot. I think this is the fielding that we were expecting. It's great to see that someone's putting that effort. I think last game the fielding was lacking a bit on both sides. That's pulled too deep mid wicket, and it's just a single there. Tara does drag this length back a bit, and gives Pooja her pull shot off, but it only manages to get a single off it. It's given a wide. I'm not sure what the plan is here. I think the lines are varying from inside to the stumps and towards the wide line. There is nobody behind backward point, and a quick dab could race away to the boundary for 4. Just a quick mishap in the run up there. That's an inside edge, and it goes to short fine. Batters only take a 1 there. Pooja looking for the 2, but denied by Chetna. 6.82 is the run rate right now. 58 for 1 and 8.3. So far, Chetna is almost run a ball, and Pooja is just a bit over run a ball. That is called a wide. Pooja looks to guide that back, but just misses. Bit of frustration shown. Only 3 balls up so far. That is guided to short third, and it is stopped. Good fielding effort over there. As 4 balls up, 2 left to go to complete the 9th over of the first innings. 59 for 1. That is cut 2 point, and it is stopped. So far, Tara is pulling back the runs that were free-flowing at the start with 2 singles and then a wide, a single, and a wide. The last 2 balls were dots, and she can finish this over very well. Last ball over. Looks to be guided away, but it looks to go for. That is a legal delivery right over the stumps. That is over up and over 9 of the first innings. Houston Hurricanes 59 for 1. Good shot there. Hit straight down the ground. Only going to get a single. Another battle of experience here. Sanvi Imadi versus Pooja Ganesh and Chetna Reddy. Great shot. Hit over covers and is going to the boundary, racing for 4. Great use of feet by Pooja there. Really getting to the pitch of the ball of Sanvi's ball. It's very well done. That's something we've been seeing from the start of the day today. The people who have been reaching the pitch on the flighted balls have been executing everything very well, and that's where all the runs are flowing. Just looking at that one more time. Great use of the feet. Very well placed as well. That is driven straight to covers. Another dot for Sanvi. Only 6 runs conceded so far. Use of the feet there, and it is hit to the long on fielder, and it goes for just a 1. Pooja does look for 2 and is denied. Last ball of the over right before the halfway mark break. That is dabbed 2 point. Well done by Tara to cover that ground quickly. It is 10 overs up, 66 for 1, Houston Hurricanes.
The
Yeah,
break
let him
ending
plug in.
here, and
Your phone. I have to take phone case off after this.
Yeah, you can take the phone case.
No, just give. Yeah, do the cable.
there
Start
is a
plugging.
medium
Just
pacer
take it fully out.
introduced into the
Take it
attack
fully out.
right after
Thank you.
break,
कंटिन्यू तारा कंटिन्यू
and it will be Tara
तो
continuing.
वो पहले कर देना अंदर ऐड
Who's the bowler?
तारा कंटिन्यू
The Hurricanes have done well so far, not having lost too many wickets, just one wicket here with both.
Hey guys, side conversations are being captured, so just advise people not to speak when you're if people are speaking, then mute.
And it's a wide delivery here by Tara. She will have to bowl that again. That was far down leg. Chitna is well set in, having faced 22 deliveries and scoring 20 off them so far. She will be looking to capitalize onto this great start that she's had so far. A great delivery here by Tara. Run rate just above 6.5 and over so far. I think Hurricanes have done well to maintain a decent run rate while not losing too many wickets. They know that it will be easier to score once their batters are more set. Close to the wide line, that one. This one a little bit shorter and goes through short mid-wicket, and that is cut off by deep mid-wicket. It will be only one run. A brilliant bit of work there at the boundary by deep mid-wicket. Tara now bowling to the right-handed batter, Pooja Ganesh. And that has been called wide by the umpire. Second wide of the over by Tara, struggling to find her line a little bit. That is cut well by Pooja Ganesh through the gap, and that goes all the way for 4 runs. That's a brilliant shot by Pooja Ganesh, really waiting on the ball and piercing it through the gap for a boundary. An immense display of quality here by Pooja. Tara looking to come back from the delivery, and that is down leg once again. A little bit of pressure piling up on Tara now. Third wide of the over so far. 8 runs off the over so far. Tara looking to finish off the final 3 deliveries of her over. This is again drifting down leg, tough chance for a backward square leg, and this goes all the way to the boundary once again. Another brilliant shot by Pooja Ganesh, just a delicate touch, just helping its way to the boundary. Another great display of her class and timing.
Talk like
Tara under quite a bit of pressure now, just looking to finish this over well, and that's a great delivery by Tara. A half-hearted appeal here. It's a great comeback delivery by Tara now. A little bit of seam off the pitch coming into the batter, which will be pretty common throughout this innings and the next innings as we see the cracks to open up in this heat. Cracks opening up in this heat. And the run rate has actually gone above 7 and over now. This one keeping low. And the batter's sneaking another single. And to an expensive over. And Hurricanes are 79 for 1 in 11 overs now. At this rate, 140, 150 is still on the cards for the Hurricanes if they manage to keep a hold of their wickets and have their top order batters spend as much time as possible on the crease. And now a spinner has been brought into the attack, Sanvi, for her second over. Oh, this one slowed down off the wicket a lot, which is a common trend at Tollgate. The spinners will definitely get assistance here. Using her feet, getting hit on the pads, and that is one leg by run to the Hurricanes. That has actually been given off the bat. The smartest approach on this wicket is to use their feet on this track, just as Pooja has just done here, getting an inside edge onto her pads here. Direct hit from the fielder, but the batter has made it in safely. So this has been a good over from Sanvi so far. 3 balls to go. Sanvi in for her 4th delivery of this over now. Slowing down off the wicket and a little bit of extra bounce. Pooja cannot get that through the gap of backward point and gully. Shorter once again, and Pooja gets that through the gap, pushed down to sweeper for 1 run. This has been great bowling by Sanvi so far. I reckon she might need to pitch it slightly fuller if she wants to generate those chances for wickets though, which is what they should prioritize, especially against this pair. Once these two really get set in, it will be really hard to stop them. And dropped at short covers. Another chance put down by the Rising Stars, and this could prove to be really costly for them. Just seeing a replay of that in the air towards short covers. I'm sure she'll be disappointed by that, although a good attempt, but would have hoped for that to be held on to.
Can you repeat?
and Mahati is introduced into the attack. The Rising Stars are looking to change up their bowling and now let the batters get settled in, introducing a new bowler to the attack, another spinner. She is off spinner. Just tap for 1 run to square leg. Both these batters having faced 20 odd deliveries each, they're both looking to pretty settled in at the crease. The key is to not get really capitalize on this start by both of them. Using her feet straight down the ground, chance and taken. Brilliant catch by the long off fielder, and Pooja Ganesh has to depart for a well-made 21 off 20 deliveries. This is the big fish that they hope to get, and I'm sure the Rising Stars will be really proud of this wicket. And a brilliant catch by the long off fielder, judging that really well and completing that catch inside the ropes. A good cameo by Pooja Ganesh, although she is not able to capitalize on her start, and a new batter will be coming in now.
Batter name. Lasya. Can you repeat?
Masya.
Masya, nice new one.
Say it.
Lasya.
Say it. Ask one more time.
One more time. Can you say one more time? Batter name.
New batter in is Lasya, and she will be getting ready to face her first delivery, using her feet straight away. This is a good approach by Lasya. She knows that the pitch has a lot of turn to offer, brilliantly using her feet to just cover that spin and tap it to long on for just 1 run. Settled batsman back on strike. Shit now. Mahati has been bowling great so far. Good control. Able to pitch it in areas where she wants to pitch it. Another great delivery, forcing Chitna to go on the back foot. Mahati in for her 5th delivery of this over. This is a lot of turn on that delivery. Called wide by the umpire. Keeper lets this one go. Umpire, and Lasya is back on strike. Early signs of confidence by Lasya, stepping down the track, first ball. Push to covers. Found the middle of the bat, but just couldn't get it through the gap. And Sanvi is Sanvi is continuing from the other end. Having bowled well so far, 11 off 2 overs. The matchup seems to be pretty balanced right now with no team clearly on top of each other. The Hurricanes 87 for 2 and 13, striking at about 6.69 in an over. It's another good ball, tapped for 1 run to mid wicket. This brings Lascia back on strike. The key question will be, will Lascia still use her feet against the leg spinner spinning out away from her, compared to from the other end the off spinner spinning into her? This will be a test for the batter. Good delivery by Sanvi here, blocked out by Lascia. Oh, a little bit of uneven bounce as we've seen throughout the day. This one keeping low. Using her feet, and this has gone through the gate, and Lascia is bowled by Sanvi. A brilliant delivery by Sanvi. And the third wicket for the Hurricanes departs. It's really essential for Hurricanes to hold on to their wickets, as on a difficult track, new batters always take time to adjust, which piles on dots and adds pressure to the overall team. I think it's key for them to really, really hold on to their wickets and get one partnership going. What do you think about that, Shreyas?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think now is more the anchoring role. I felt like Lacia's wicket, she was going a more aggressive route, which is understandable, especially with a set batsman like Chetna on the crease. But yeah, I totally agree. I think the way they're gonna get that bigger total is if they have wickets to spare in the back end. You know, they still have a solid 6 overs to go after this, and they are 3 wickets down. I think where they take it from here is gonna really determine what I think these next couple overs is really gonna determine what's gonna happen with their end total.
Yeah, I think so far both teams pretty even. Um, it's going at about 6.5 runs and over, 3 wickets down, 13 overs. Think it's a pretty even matchup so far, and I think the next 6-ish overs are really crucial to this game. The Rising Stars have bowled brilliantly so far, keeping their line and lengths tight.
I think one thing we don't see a lot of in these games is using hitting those square boundaries, you know, with sweeps. And I actually have not seen one reverse sweep at all. Also, I feel like that's a scoring option, especially on a track like Tollgate, where it turns and bounces a lot.
This one upish once again, no run. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think a safer, I think cross bet shots are actually, such as sweeps, are actually safer shots than straight bet shots on these turning wickets, slow turning wickets. And I think that's definitely a good option. And I think this is why these type of wickets and these type of tournaments are actually beneficial for these girls and women, because it gives them that experience, it gives them that exposure for further tournaments in the future.
Yeah, I totally agree. Adding on to that too, I think yeah, it gives them a lot of exposure to different conditions. Also, um, I think it helps everyone who plays on different wickets in the future. Also, with going to different places in the world, doesn't matter where your cricketing journey takes you. I feel like if you're able to adapt to conditions easily, that's when you become a complete cricketer.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the tougher tracks for the batters to adapt to, and a good test for them. This one tossed up by Mahati, another great delivery. I think something that we're seeing by the Rising Stars that we did not see by the Spirits is that these that the Rising Stars are not trying to do too much. They're keeping their line and length simple. They're they're limiting their extras. They're not trying to do too much. They're forcing the batters to do most of the work, which I think is the better option to do on such a wicket. And I think they've been executing that really well.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you. I think we talked about that in the morning also. Really letting the batters make their shots out of a ball that's good is what's going to give wickets. And so far, the Rising Stars have been bowling beautifully.
This one, another appeal. I reckon that was going down leg end. That could have been a little bit of height. We will see that on the replay shortly, though.
Just watching the flight, really tempting the batsman to try to come on the front foot.
Yeah, drifting down leg by a good distance. Good ball, regardless, though. Another great delivery by Mahati. Really letting the pitch do all the work.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think Mahdi's really tempting the batters to go after the ball. You know, in moments like this, I think this fearless bowling is what's going to get them wickets. And again, as we talked about the sweep, it does get pulled out.
And I think in difficult tracks as such, we blame the pitch a lot for causing that turn and bounce. But I think credit should be given to the bowlers as well for keeping their line and lengths good and putting revs on the ball, really keeping things tight and not letting things
Yeah, I totally
go out
agree
of
with you. I
control.
mean, the areas that Mahdi's been bowling has been really difficult for the batters to hit those sweeps and try to get those runs off.
This is push to deep mid where the deep midfielder throws that back in and keeps that down to just a single. Another great over by Mahati, 5, and the total is 91 for 3 in 15 overs. And Sanvi will finish her spell from this end. She has bowled great so far, just giving 12 runs. Giving 12 runs so far in her 3 overs and taking off Alaska.
Yeah, I think Sandvi's been on her spot since the first ball. She's not giving too much flight for the tie to give the batters time to step out and reach the pitch of it as well. I don't see much feet movement coming out of the crease from either Chetna or any other pair. And as I talk about it, great use of the feet, goes just over the boundary. Great shot by Chetna, really reading the height and the flight in that early on.
Brilliant shot by Chetna. Great use of her feet. I think this was a safe choice for her, considering that the spinner is turning into her. And good thinking by Chetna. The Hurricanes approaching the 100 runs mark here, just 3 runs shy of it. Chetna rocks back and gets that through point. A little misfield by the point fielder.
Yeah, I think a lot more positive cricket has been started after the power play. You know, in the power play, I don't think it was used to its potential, but I'm seeing a lot more quick running between the wickets and a lot more tap and run as well.
Yeah, and despite runs being scored at a little over a run a ball, with the run rate being 6.26, I think the bowlers overall have actually done well. It's just been a couple loose overs here and there, which the batters have capitalized on, which have allowed the run rate to be that. But I think overall the bowlers have been doing brilliantly, and it's really good to see them bowl so well. Last ball of her spell here, and a great spell.
Sorry.
A great spell comes to the end by Sanvi here, just giving 19 runs for 1 wicket in 4 overs. And this was the last delivery, inches away from the stump. Almost picked up her second wicket.
Yeah, I think right now, I think the highest impact in the match so far regarding even batting and bowling is Sanvi. I think the way she's come in from the first ball has been keeping her lines very tight, not giving the batters much to work with.
Yeah, as we just saw in the replay again, just inches away from that middle stump. I think she definitely deserved that second wicket.
I think another unsung hero so far is Mahdi. 2 overs, 5 runs in 1 wicket.
Yeah, definitely. I think her next 2 overs will also be really crucial to this game. She's bowled great so far, and Arna has actually not gotten off the mark yet. Just struggling a bit to adapt to the pitch, which is common on this wicket too, which is why holding wickets is even important, even in the death overs for the batters.
Yep, totally agree. Again, back to that backhand part. That's where games are won and lost. Bit of flight there offered, and it's going to long off, and it's put down once again. That is 2 chances, and that is multiple more chances from the morning and all added on today. A lot of drop catches throughout both games today.
Yeah, putting down a relatively simple chance. Arna escaping a 9-ball duck and getting off the mark now. I'm sure this run will definitely give her some confidence though as she's off the mark now. This is Chetna rocks back and pulls this to deep mid-wicket.
So
And
Naitik, I feel something that we're missing in this innings that we've seen in the previous one, in the previous game as well, was there was always an anchor role, but there isn't someone that is taking it to the bowlers, like how Isani did in the morning when Anika was anchoring.
yeah, I think once the batters get going,
And that is a shout, and it's given.
brilliant ball by Mahati. Once again, she picks up her second wicket. This has been a great spell by her so far, and Arna departs for 1 of 10 balls.
She gets her woman just before that gets dropped and gets her back with the LBW. Brilliant bowling by Mahati.
So yeah, as we were talking, just as the batters get going, obviously with Chetna playing the anchor role, just as the batters get going, a wicket falls, and then the new batter comes in, having to adapt to the pitch once again, which is really holding back the amount of runs which the Hurricanes could have actually had. Just now with another wicket falling, the new batter will have to once again adapt to the pitch, get settled in, which will be the task of Mahi now. And I'm sure Chetna will be looking to be aggressive relatively soon, similar in the same fashion that Anika did, anchoring throughout the whole innings and then going after it in the final few overs.
Yeah, I think another thing is the Rising Stars bowling attack has been great today. From yesterday to today, I think both batting lineups that they have been playing against the Hurricanes and the Thunders have been deep. And today, I felt like they've really held their lines.
Run rate just falling to about 6 and over, and Mahi blocks out her first ball.
A lot of respect being shown to bowlers today, and the bowlers deserve that respect, hitting those proper lines and lengths. Batters don't have much to work with, not a lot of shots being offered, and not a lot of loose balls being offered as well.
Yeah, I think Mahati, despite bowling a lot to the right-handed batters as well, she's still keeping her line and links tight and not really giving them any room to really go after her.
Yeah, I think especially with her bowling against a lot of experience from Chetna, you know, being able to bowl those spots and also 3 overs in with 8 runs and 2 wickets, it takes a lot of effort, especially as an off spinner on a track like this, to be able to just consistently hit those correct spots.
Yeah, for sure. I think with the run rate just falling below 6 and over now, I think now is the time when the Hurricanes would be looking to go after almost everything. With just 3 overs remaining, still 6 wickets in hand, I think now is about the time they would start open firing. Down the ground and cut off by the long on fielder. It will just be 1 run. You can see a clear change of intentions by Chetna now. She is really looking to keep as much strike as possible, really playing her shots now. having played a great inning so far, 37 of 39.
A lot of turn on offer there. A bit of deceive in the flight, and it's really kicking off the wicket, especially with those cracks forming. Just looking at a replay on that, it's moved about 5 stumps over.
Ooh. Some extra bounce again. Ritu has been bowling great too, really letting the pitch do all the work and keeping her line and links tight. Now will be interesting to see how Chetna approaches this. Off spinner spinning out away from her. It'll be difficult to use her feet, but I'm still sure that's what she will aim to do. Just dragging that to mid wicket for a 1 run.
You know, I think it's a bit critical of me, but I feel like Chetna should be taking a bit of more of the responsibility here, taking on the bowlers, especially with a bit more not as experienced batters that she's batting with, especially because she's batted 40 balls already.
And
It's
use
a
of
great
feet
shot.
by Mahi, and that will just be 1 run.
I think again that reverse sweep option could come into play here. Just have not seen anyone play it yet.
Using her feet up in the air and will fall safe in no player's land.
Some some discussions going on here on what we should call that, no man's land or no player's land.
Giovanna Aras reckons that it should be no man's land as it's a casual saying, so that's what we'll be saying for the rest of this game.
Totally agree. We will be hearing from Giovanna soon, right after this inning ends, with a international USA cricketer.
Alongside Shreya Shitnani.
Again, back into the final 2 overs. Hurricanes are 107 for 4. 6 wickets left with a set Chetna and a new batsman Mahi in.
I think it's an interesting call to not bowl out Mahati here. I think she definitely should have bowled her last over, even though there are 2 overs left. It seems harder to play spinners than it is to play pacers.
I totally agree with that. I was just about to say that too. I think the pace is more coming on than the spinners today, especially with the amount of drastic turn that's happening.
I think this is the over where both batters will be looking to take on the bowler.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the majority of the runs they can get in these last 2 overs is going to be this over, and I think they really have to capitalize on that.
I think the Hurricanes will be pushing to the score of 130, which is what they would be aiming for. But I think it's brilliant bowling by Sohani so far. She has also bowled brilliantly for her past 3 overs as well, just conceding 16 runs and just won this over so far too. I think Chetna has the license to go after pretty much every delivery now, especially since it's a pacer. And I think she will definitely look to take advantage of that in the final 10 deliveries here. Stops on her a little bit.
So I think in this moment, what do you think, Nighthawk? I feel Chetna should keep strike, especially since she's played 42 balls now and she's been there since the start of the innings. I think she should take that major role and really back herself to hit those boundaries and try to get as much as they can in these last 1.3 overs.
Yeah, I think she's done all the hard work, and now it's just
And
just as
speak
it's-
of the commentator's curse, as soon as we start talking about it, she gets out. Chetna is dismissed 40 off 43, And a new batsman has to come at the crease on this difficult wicket with an international Suhani Tadani bowling at her.
This one keeps a little bit low and goes through the gate of Chetna. Regardless, a brilliant knock by Chetna, playing captain's knock and anchoring the innings brilliantly, ensuring that the Hurricanes are still only 5 wickets down. And now both batters have the license to go after every single delivery here with only 8 deliveries remaining.
That is given.
Hanaya departs for a 2-ball duck here. And a little delay on the scoring here. We will get the scorecard updated as soon as possible. And Michaela is the new batter in. Good attempt by on the first ball. And this is
That
up
has
in the
popped
air
up and it is
it
put
is
down
put down.
again. That is the third catch dropped in one innings. A lot of drop catches we've seen today. Fielding has not been on par.
This was a simple chance. Good thinking by Ritu to bowl this wide. And she has fumbled Dolly. And Michaela is the new batter in now.
Yeah,
Last over.
chance created by Ritu, but not held on by her teammates. You know, we talked about this before. Chances are being created by bowlers, but the fielding has not been up to par today. Saw that in the previous game as well. Both innings included some drop catches.
This is by signaled by the umpire. And actually an interesting thing here is that it seems like it's not easy to hit either, even once you're set. So it'll be interesting to see how the Rising Stars approach their batting, because if they leave too many runs for the end, I don't think it'll be as easy as it might seem. And this is
It's
up
gone
into
up
the
in
air.
the air, and I do not think it has the distance to reach. Batters get 1 run off of that, and we are into the final 2 balls of the first innings. I think a couple boundaries here would do them justice. I'm sure they want to get to at least 120, something close to that.
This
As we
is
talk about it, it's gone to long on just for a 1 bounce. It's the last ball of the innings here. Great bowling by Ritu so far. I'm sure the Hurricanes are looking for a boundary here, and Ritu's looking to finish it off quick.
great comeback towards the end by Rising Stars to pull that run rate down from almost 7 to below 6. And this
That's
has
a
been
great hit, and
smacked
it's-
over the fielder for a maximum. This is a great finish for the Hurricanes. And the target for the Rising Stars will be 120. It's a brilliant hit by Michaela.
Just watching that again, clean connection right in the arc of the bat. That's gone a ways away. And that ends the first innings of the day. 119 is the score of the Hurricanes and 120 to win for the Rising Stars. We will be right back and see you shortly. All right, and we are back for the second innings. The Rising Stars are chasing 120 in a 120 ball, just a runnable game here. One of the lower totals we've seen so far in this tournament, only in the second day here. And with me, I have a special guest today, the vice captain of the Seattle Thunders, Giovanna Aris.
Thanks, Tris, for having me. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
you just won your first game today. Congrats. How do you feel?
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, so far we're 2 for 2. We batted decent. Anika had a great captain's knock. Our bowling was good. I think overall, we just have to work on our fielding a little bit more. I think we can wrap all the other teams up pretty quickly.
Yep, great points, great points. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts so far about the tournament? Like, how do you feel like this opportunity is for upcoming talent and like experienced players like you?
I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. It's really allowing, I mean, a lot of the younger Seattle girls to have that chance to play with a lot of the senior women's national team girls. So we have, looks like Mahi Madhavan. She's one of the senior players. She usually opens bowling for the U.S. And it's great for all these younger girls to just learn and face these older ladies. Or they're not ladies, I would say, because Mahi's, I think, 17. But
Yeah, I think it's the
it's more
experience.
senior players.
Right, I understand. I think it's the experience and then that mixing off with the upcoming talent of the Seattle region and the greater U.S. area is really helpful, I'd say, for women's growth also.
Beautiful bowling by Mahi. 2 dots to start the inning.
So how are the things in the dugout right now? What are the vibes going on like in the Seattle Thunder's dressing room?
Oh, it's fun. It's a whole lot of fun. Coach and all the girls were joking. We make sure we're focused on what we're doing, obviously, making sure our batters are ready, helping get waters to everyone who needs it, but it's quite lively. Lots of chatter.
That's good. That's good. And you had a good bowling spell today. How do you? You guys are pretty close to qualifying for the playoffs. What are the feelings about that as well?
Um, we're just going to go for the win next game. I mean, we're all excited. We're just going to do what we can, do our basics, make sure everything goes well.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Coming back to this game, you know, since you played the morning game, what do you think of the wicket now, and how do you feel like it's changed from the morning?
So far, from what I've seen, I mean, in our game alone, it felt like it was getting slower. A lot more cracks are showing up. I feel like the spinners are definitely going to have an advantage today, unless the seamers are able to get in some cutters, let it seam off.
Yep.
But I think it'll be a spinner-heavy game.
Yep, I totally agree.
Well played by Ananya. Ananya's usually known for hitting over the top, mid-off, long, mid-on,
I think
sometimes
it's a
the
very
cow.
mature approach by them so far. You know, people usually look to use the power play, but I think they understood that the wicket is not to what they would get in other places. You know, with the cracks and the dust forming on the wicket, it's hard to get that proper good length and good bounce ball.
Yeah. So Ananya and Srinidhi, the 2 batters here, they're both very mature batters, I would say. They know how to carry their innings, so I'm excited to see how much they can score together and build that partnership. Because both of them, when they can, they'll start going off and they'll start hitting bigger shots, but they'll have a mature innings, I would say.
So another thing I wanted to ask, you are the Seattle Orcas spokesperson, am I right?
I am one of the 2 ambassadors with Anika Colin.
That's awesome. How does it feel?
I mean, it's been great. We've been getting opportunities. We're going to have a tournament coming up in the Seattle area. Seattle Orcas is hosting it, making sure we get opportunities to play with other players from other countries. I mean, we have girls from the West Indies coming. We have a few Canadian players. So we have Janelia Glasgow. She is a West Indies pace bowler. And then Aaliyah and a few other players just to come give some batting depth, some spinners. I think it'll just be a great opportunity for everyone.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, obviously mixing with other people from other countries is always a great opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be playing here at Tollgate. We get some turf. Lots of girls from all over the country and experience from out of the country. It'll just be, as I said, it's just giving girls opportunities to be able to showcase their skill and develop as a player. So,
Pausing 1 second, that was a great first over by Mahi, only conceding 1 run in this chase. I think those dot balls are going to be really important in the final run. You know, And again, well bowled by Lassia. I think they're keeping their lines very tight here. And they're not trying, they're giving, I think this is probably one of the tighter starts I've seen. There hasn't been a wide in the first over as well.
Yeah, Lassia and Mahi are both very experienced bowlers. Lassia has been very consistent recently in all the tournaments that she's been going to. In the USA system, Mahi, as I said earlier, she's part of the USA senior team, and she normally opens, so that's a role she's very comfortable in.
Hmm. So another thing also, you are a born Seattleite. Like, how does it feel like seeing all this cricket come to Seattle, especially since you've grown up playing here?
Honestly, it's a little shocking because when my brothers were younger, there was a camp in like 2008, and there was only like a handful. And to see it grow into what it is now in 2019, I started really seeing a lot of cricket played in parks and around Bellevue in the greater Seattle area. And then now it's 2026, and we have hundreds of girls playing. We have hundreds of boys playing, lots of teams, men's, youth. I think the growth is excellent. I mean, I think Seattle's just going to turn into one of the bigger cricket hubs in the U.S.
Yep, I totally agree. I think a lot of people now, a lot of girls, you are kind of the person that they look up to, being the only cricketer coming out of the Seattle region to make that USA national team so far. You know, I'm sure people always like know you and want to talk with you about it too.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions from younger kids, some parents just asking about the USA system, but just normal chatter.
Yep. Going back to that shot, that was a very well placed shot. I'm seeing a lot of maturity here in these innings also. I feel like even with men's cricket also, you don't see this level of maturity. There's really good game awareness going on in these games as well. You know, really adjusting to the wicket very well, because a lot of this wicket has been played on for a while, but you know, these sort of scores have not come yet so far until now.
Yeah, and I feel like this inning, this batting team, they're really gonna have to make sure they don't slow down. Just make sure they're keeping their batters in, giving them an opportunity. Make sure they don't lose their patience, because once a few wickets fall, as we've seen, a lot more wickets just come tumbling down right after. So
Yep.
they really just have to hold.
100%. Yeah. All right, Mahi is coming back for a second over after just giving one singular run in her first over of the day. So far, 8 for no loss in 2 overs. The required run rate has went a bit up above 6 and over. Just punched him it off, but not a single taken. I think one thing, I don't know if you've noticed that since you were playing, is I think the games are determined based off of those quick singles that are being taken, you know, with that intent to run and tap and run in those gaps by the batters.
Yeah, so as you know, I also played with men here in the Seattle area.
Yep.
And unlike the men, where a lot of it's muscle and timing, a lot of the girls were not physically as developed. A lot of them are on the younger side. They're all in their teens. So for us, in the girls' game at least, there is a lot of twos, there's a lot of ones, not as many boundaries yet until we're all a little older, we're all more physically developed. But
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think there's always something to learn from everything. And I think us as male cricketers should also learn like the rotation of strike. I think it's an art in its own way. And being able to rotate every ball and not eating those dot balls in between is something that's not seen a lot more in the T20 cricket this day.
yeah, and some of these girls that I've seen, they started trying to manipulate the field. A few drop and runs, make sure they bring in the fielders a little bit closer, and once they come in closer, they're trying to hit it through the gaps and then try and spread the field out again.
Yeah, I think a good example of that was Anika Colin today, hitting 90 in about 58 balls. You know, that was a blistering inning. She started off very slowly too, with Isani starting off really well in the morning. You know, seeing that as well, I think there's a lot of expertise with the girls in this tournament, be able to hit those gaps like perfectly and be able to place the ball exactly where they want it to be.
Yeah, I think all the batters actually have been doing quite well with just finding gaps and finding those quick singles. But sometimes they have been getting a little stuck, but the pitches sometimes been a bit tricky. So trying to find those quick singles hasn't been happening. Well bowled by Mahi.
Yeah, I think the wicket's breaking up a bit. It's getting a bit tough in the second innings. I think going back to your guys' game also, that toss is very crucial on this sort of ground. You know, getting a good getting it at the peak condition when it's rolled in the morning, fresh with a bit of dampness in it, really helps you guys get that mammoth total of 189 this morning.
Yeah, I mean, when I noticed when we got on the field that that pitch was starting to crack a lot, I mean, we knew what we needed to do, but it's just up to the batters really to figure out how to proceed through their innings.
Yep. I think so far, most of the teams that have been batting first have been winning, except you guys yesterday.
Yeah, we were able to chase down the inning. We did have a good start from Isani and Anika once again. So they really helped with the batting.
Lasha does come back very tight with her first ball in her second over, giving 7 runs in that first one. So far, 9 in 3 overs. Keeper's doing a lot of work today. I mean, with the turn and bounce, a lot of balls going into the gloves of the keeper.
And for Lasya, she does have probably two of the most experienced fielders on the boundary. We have Chaitna and we have Sainavi. Both of them playing on the USA Women's National Team. Both of them boundary riders for that team as well.
Yeah, and going back to them too, they had a brilliant start today. Sainavi giving a good explosive start, and Chaitna really anchoring the innings through the entire game through.
I just want to see if Chaitna will come into bowl today. I haven't seen her bowl in a long time. I know she bowled yesterday. I think she'd look like she did pretty well. Left arm.
Not a rip on the wicket. Getting runs off wides as well. 10 runs so far in her total of 1.3 overs.
Yeah, and it was well stopped. It was a wide, but it was well stopped by Pooja Ganesh. Also, USA Women's National player. She is our keeper. There is a lot of experience on this Houston Hurricanes team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like from batting, bowling, and keeping, everything on the field has experience and energy into it from this Hurricane side. But again, we can't write off the rising stars as well. You know, there's a lot of experience there. Suhani and Ritu Singh also. A lot of explosive batting. As we can see, we got a good tent full of parents, viewers, watchers to watch this tournament as well. You know, everyone's getting enjoyed. It's a good day out in Seattle. Clear blue skies, clear view of the mountain as well. It's a great day for cricket. lots of discussions going on over there too with
Looks like Sean Carey from Seattle Orcas is also in attendance today. Just checking out the women's game and looking at the pitch.
So I mean, we talked about the Hurricanes' experience. You know, the Rising Stars have also great experience in their team. What do you say about that?
Yeah, so I mean, starting off, we have Ananya and Trinity. Both of them have been playing for a long time. They're very mature. I mean, backing them, we have Sanvi, we have Suhani, Ritu, and we have Tia also coming in the USA system. I feel like they have good depth in their team. I feel like they are more of a bowling heavy team, but I know all of them can pull through in their batting, and when they need, they can show their skills.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think they are a bit of a bowling heavy team, you know. But yesterday they did show a good show for batting, especially with Ritu's blister innings yesterday.
Yeah,
And that is gone up, and it is dropped. Just fell short of mid off. I think these chances need to be taken for these sort of games and these low score wins.
Yeah, especially at this low of a score. Fielding has to be their priority, what they have to focus on, backing their bowlers. I know bowlers won't be the happiest when they do see a chance go down, but Sinovy usually takes those. It looked like it was just a little too far for her to reach. But going back to experience on this team, I think if Ritu and these openers can just hold through the entire 20 overs, I think they could chase it down. I mean, now that you've seen, this is now the 4th game, and all the other games have been about 160 plus runs. How do you think these batters are going to go through their innings? Because they know the wicket's just going to get a lot harder to bat on.
I think in these moments, rotation of strike is really important, and that's something obviously I've seen that a lot of ladies are good at here. You know, in these moments, these tap and runs like they just have done when we're talking about it is really what's going to determine between a win and a loss here. But obviously, since they are a bit down right now with both batters had a below 50 strike rate here, then a couple boundaries are going to need to be made because the Hurricanes are not giving anything to the Rising Stars.
Yeah, and it looks like Sinovy Kampalapalli, she's going to come in to the attack. She is a leg spinner. She is one of 2 of USA's leg spinners. It's her and Sanvi Madi. Each one is going against each other today. So I would like to see how she does. She usually picks up quick wickets. So we'll see what she does.
Last over a power play here, only 16 runs conceded by the Hurricanes so far to the Rising Stars. I think a bit of a big over is needed here to be staying on track, especially with the target of 120 on a bit of a difficult wicket.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do against Sinovy. Ball going away from them. She's very consistent in her bowling.
And that was there. Batters are disappointed to miss that.
I think commentator's curse. I got it right there.
Just looking back at that ball was there to be put away to the boundary. I think these moments are really what's going to happen. You know, Sinovy is not going to give those chances again. That's hit through covers. It's hit well, but it does not have the legs to reach the ropes. It's saved, and the batters do sneak in too there.
Well done by Mahi to make sure it doesn't go to the boundary. She's a quick fielder. those chances are definitely going to come up. Sinewe's known for bowling and then all those balls ending up in the air and catches being taken. So we'll see if it happens today.
I'm sure a lot of chances were produced today, but you know, maybe the blue sky was in effect and a bit of a wind really did not let people hold on to their catches.
Yeah, all the girls just need to capitalize on all these chances going up. Make sure they take their catches, and the batters have to make sure they don't give those chances.
100%. It's googly there, and it's missed. And he goes racing away to the boundary for 4 there. A much needed boundary there. You know, as the dot balls keep going on, the run rate keeps climbing. It's these moments that they need these boundaries.
I'd like to see if Sinewe has any variations that she'll pull out today.
I do believe that was a googly. It was well read by Ananya.
Oh, well done.
Another hit. It's a deep square this time. There was a fielder there. And it's our last over of the power play here. Last ball of the power play. 9 runs conceded so far by Sinewe. Last ball with the fielding restrictions on. It's again a googly there, but hit short mid wicket. And that is the power play. Giovanna does have to leave us, guys. We are bringing NACC back.
Well, thank you, Shreyas.
Yes, it was great talking with you. Srinidhi and Ananya still in batting. No wickets lost yet. 25 for 0 in 6 overs. 2 overs, 2 runs by Mahi. And the Rising Stars are a bit below the asking run rate so far. Welcome back, NACC, back into the commentary booth right after power play ends. What have you been noticing so far?
I've been seeing some good bowling, some good batting all around. A little bit of a slow start, but I think they're doing pretty good so far. I think it's key to keep wickets in hand.
Bit of wind factor coming into play here.
Oh, some extra bounce here. Looks like that's hit Ananya on the body here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we brought it up multiple times, but it's always great to bring it up again. That wicket is breaking up over there. A lot of cracks are forming. It's not an easy task for these Rising Star batters to chase down this 120 score, even though it has been 150s has been chased down already.
Yeah, we saw a lot of this during the minor league season as well, right, Shreyas?
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. A lot of low scores there and low winning scores also. This wicket has grown since then, and it has not seen a 189 before till today morning. But, you know, this wicket always does break up towards the evening time and always makes it very difficult for a chase to happen.
Yeah, I think the toss plays a more crucial role here than one would think.
It's a
It's
great
well
shot,
picked up.
hitting the gap. It could go away, but oh, it just slips past the deep mid wicket fielder and a well needed boundary for Ananya. 7 runs in the over, not in this over, sorry, in total so far for Akshara.
Just to get her length a little bit back in control.
Capitalize on this over to try to get back into that run rate.
Oh,
That's
and that is
popped.
skied and falls short just of the point fielder. Yeah, we're seeing the cracks really starting to open up now. A lot of uneven bounce.
Just watching that again, you can see it just kind of looks like it went straight through. Not sure. I think the bat face closed just a tiny bit early.
This is pitch shorter up into the air,
And
and
in
it does
the
not
gap.
carry.
Just a one kept there. Could be overthrown. Just a one. You know, the dust with the bowlers coming in and the batters running through is really kicking up now. The bounce is pretty uneven as well.
That was a really good delivery by Akshura here, beating the bat of the batter.
And that is 7 overs up, 31 for no loss. Almost there at the halfway mark, about 30 runs shy of that halfway mark of the target. 89 runs needed from 78 balls. Sainavi comes back into the attack with a tiny bit of an expensive first over in accordance to this game so far. You know, I think the batters really want to capitalize on these sort of overs to really get them back into that game and make sure that run rate is still on target.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this towards the end of the first innings too. I think how many runs that these guys leave, that the Rising Stars leave towards the end of the innings would be really crucial, because as we saw towards the back end of the first innings as well, it's not easy to hit as well at will, no matter how set you are.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the time is now for them to just have to maybe look for some boundary options. I think Ananya is on 18 balls and Srinidhi is at 25. I think especially with no loss and wickets behind them, they need to find a way to get those missed runs and all those dot balls that were eaten up in the middle recovered.
Yeah. A positive is that they have still kept their wickets in hand. They haven't lost a single wicket yet. But the run rate just starting to climb towards 7 now. The required run rate.
As you can see, if we can see a replay of it as well, the dust does kick up after the bounce, showing and indicating that that wicket is drying up with that sun beating down on it.
This is a down leg wide.
Just watching that dust just flies up after the bounce with the wicket drying up.
Just push towards mid-off for 1 run.
I think that's something that's unique to Tollgate in the U.S. You know, I haven't seen a wicket that gets as dry as Tollgate does.
Absolutely. Oh, that one has turned back in sharply, but it will still be a wide.
Smart bowling from Sainavi here, really trying to keep the batters on the toes. We did see a googly in the last over as well that she has bowled, but it did drift down leg a bit. That is a shout, and it is given. A normal leg spin that did not bounce, just misses the bat and hits the back pad right in front of the stumps. That's the first wicket for the Hurricanes, and the Rising Stars are 35 for 1.
I think that wicket was the slowness of the pitch. The sweep shot came out a little earlier, and she was trapped straight in front of the wickets. I think the Rising Stars need to make sure that that required run rate stays below that 7 run mark, because as soon as it gets more than that, towards 8, towards 8.5, it'll get really hard to chase it, especially since the pitch keeps getting worse as we keep playing.
I totally agree. I think we talked about the sweep shot options before. This one might have been a tad bit full for that option. You know, obviously it's a great choice on this wicket, especially when it's turning a lot, to cover that bounce and turn as well. Beautiful day, beautiful blue sky here in Seattle. You know, we love to see that. Thea Chowdhury in at number 1. A bit of work to be done by the following batters after that. Try to come back and get back up to run rate.
And this has turned back in sharply to a brilliant googly, I believe. That was really well executed by Sainavi.
I'm not sure if you guys could see, but as the ball hit the gloves as the keeper as well, there's dust flying off. A lot of dryness on the wicket. Just to watch that again. It's a great googly. He's turning a lot there. All taken by the keeper as well. Smart bowling from Sainavi. That is 8 overs up, 35 for 1. Current run rate is 4.38 and required is 7. Close one there. A lot
Yeah.
of bounce and turn on it as well.
You can see that dust flying out of the keeper's hands as that ball meets the gloves. And now there is a new bowler introduced into the attack, Bhumika. She will be looking to get another wicket here, as they say, one brings two. So that one has came back in as well. It's a good start to her spell.
Yeah, I really do think the Rising Stars have some work cut out for them. You know, getting in this situation early is not going to help them in the back end. It's never easy, you know, as we talked about. It's never easy to come in and start hitting on this wicket as well. You know, these moments where they can get these bad balls and try to put them away here is really going to help the people who are coming at the end looking to finish off the game and win the game for them.
Yeah. I think Srinidhi has played 30 balls now, and then I think she should be well set. Still a difficult track, you never fully get well set, but I think she should start looking to rotate strike a little bit more.
I mean, on the contrary, I feel that as someone who is set and as the runner keeps climbing, someone needs to be taking that role to try to clear the ropes or even try to hit those gaps and get those boundaries off.
And
Just like
as
what
you say
happened.
that,
That is beautiful work, hitting that gap perfectly. These are the boundaries that are needed to chase this total.
brilliant bit of work by Srinidhi here, and really playing that little late, letting it come onto the bat and just piercing it through the gap between extra and point.
Well said, and I think her waiting on that was a really key point, especially when the wicket's getting dead. Very well played. You see the dust fly off the bat as the ball met it. Bit of disappointment from Srinidhi for that wide, hoping to get another run out of it. That is we have 1 boundary and 4 dot balls so far. So far a good over for Bhumika. And it almost inside edges onto the stumps.
They sneak in a quick single here.
Change of ends, just looking back at that too. That dust flying off the wicket as the ball hits the ground. Great view angle of that. Tollgate makes for a unique wicket here in the US. You know, as we see, if we can talk about other places too, PV is much different than this, and we talk about Atlanta as well. I think Tollgate is the one wicket that is more red soil dominant in the US. So, Nadik, what do you think? Do you feel like they're going on track for this total, or do you feel like there's something that needs to be done for them to get on track again?
I think for anyone looking from outside, anyone watching on TV, it would look like the Rising Stars are in a good position, 1 down. Srinidhi is set. But in my opinion, I think the run rate is just starting to go up a little, and as we say that's a brilliant shot, because I think it gets really hard to really catch up on this run rate and hit towards the back end of the innings, as we also saw in the first innings, and it's just going to be harder in this innings. But I think with this boundary, the Rising Stars are starting to get closer to what they should be, and I think Trinity is really capitalizing on her start now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think capitalizing on these bad balls that are given, like the free boundaries, especially without a fielder there, is really going to help them. And I 100% agree. I think on the TV and on the scorecard, it looks like they are on track for it. But again, that wicket falling could change the momentum of the game because it takes a really long time for a batter to come and get settled in, especially on a wicket like Tolgate. 76 runs needed from 65 balls. First ball of Tanushree over goes for 4. And the ball is lost, and it's near the cows over there. Looks like the cows are enjoying their time. We have Atu fetching the ball for us. He does manage to get it, and is safe from the cows.
Brilliant bit of work here by Atu in that blue Thunderbolts practice jersey. Really showing us his athleticism.
I totally agree. A lot of work cut out for him. A lot of balls that went back there. He's been jumping that fence all day. Really appreciate Atu on that. Coming back to it, Tanushree bowls her second ball of the over. Just waiting for the umpire to walk back from the boundary here. It's a long walk away. That ball went miles and miles away. Great hit. It's well bowled and tapped for a single. I think this is exactly what is needed. If we're talking about boundaries.
Oh, a brilliant bit of thinking to sneak in that double as well. Great running by the batters.
Yep. I think as we talk about boundaries as well, last over they did get a boundary, but there was also a lot of dot balls that just canceled out that progress they made towards that total. What I really like that happened now, that was really smart, that Srinidhi did, is just a dab after the boundary to take that single, and she got a double out of it with that overthrow, and just keep the scoreboard ticking. Again, it was sprocked back. It does edge through it, goes racing away to the boundary. Does it have the legs? No, it does not. Just stopped before the boundary. The batters do sneak in too, and the runs are still ticking. 8 runs so far, 3 balls. That current run rate is slowly climbing back to where they want it to be. And just 3 balls before the halfway break of the second innings. Good comeback by Tanushree, pulling back the length there. They do get a single in some way. Last ball of Tanushree's first over and last ball of the first half of the second innings. The Rising Stars are 49 for 1 so far, with 1 ball remaining. It is missed, and that is 10 overs up. 49 for 1. The Rising Stars are a bit behind the required asking run rate. 71 runs needed from 60 balls. Let's see where this goes. at these charts as well, so far, the 15 off 28 and the 15 off 19 is the biggest partnership so far for the Rising Stars. At this as well, the runs were a bit above the par of the Hurricanes at the second over, but have died down after that and need to come back up to really get back in this run chase.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it's really easy on such a wicket for a few dot balls to pile up here and there, and then all of a sudden you're like 2 overs, 25 runs, and then new batters coming in, and then the game slips from you. So it's really important for them to stay as close to run a ball as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy wicket for you to just come back and hit. I think you really analyzed that very well. Looking at the most runs in this tournament, Anika Colin has topped the leaderboards with 90 runs today, following by Chetna and Isani, who are all in the hundreds, and the next is Pooja at 67. And now we're talking about most wickets. It's Neha with 5 wickets in the first game, and Chetna Prasad with 4, and a lot of 3s and 2s right below that.
Yep, exactly.
And we are just about to finish the break and start the next half of the second innings. This is where the game is going to be made or broken here for the Rising Stars or the Hurricanes. The Rising Stars need 71 runs in 60 balls with 9 wickets remaining, with a set Srinidhi and a new Kartiki Tia Chowdhury into bat. All right. A lot of turn and bounce offered on that, and this is the first ball back from the break. I think within the span of 30 seconds, the wicket's gotten a bit worse. 2 wide so far already for the Rising Stars, and it is 52. 68 runs needed in 60 balls. A couple boundaries this over would really bring it back for the Rising Stars and put them in that chance to win this game.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Rising Stars have done a good job.
Oh, and what a ball that's gone. Beating the outside edge, and there goes Srinidhi, the set batsman for the Rising Stars. Batter, you are correct. That is my bad. It's okay.
That's a brilliant ball by Bhumika going straight through the gate of
Srinidhi.
Srinidhi. And you just see how much turn the pitch has to offer. You can't do much about that, but well played regardless by Srinidhi. Set up a good foundation for her team, and now it is up to the rest of the batters to finish
Just
this
checking that
off.
from a different angle also. That small bat pad gap straight through it and hitting off the arm as well. A bit of an unlucky dismissal, but a great piece of bowling from Bhumika. And that is 2 wickets down for the Rising Stars. And that does bring the captain, Ritu Singh, into bat, who had a great innings yesterday. Okay, chill now.
Brilliant ball once again by Bhumika.
It's a lot of turn on that ball and on that wicket as well, especially. We see it moving and bouncing about 3 or 4 stumps over from the wide line. That is sent, and it's gone to the fielder, but just dropped short.
Good bit of work by the fielder to judge that spin and make sure that doesn't cross the boundary.
And once again, Bhumika is bowling very well in this second over of hers, really coming back from that first. Current run rate is 5.05 and the asking is 7.05. A 2 difference. A lot of spin on the wicket here. You know, in these moments, I feel, Nightic, that when the wicket's turning like this, I feel playing with the spin and trying to hit square of the wicket would be a better option rather than trying to hit through the offset, especially on an off spinner on tollgate. What do you feel?
Yeah, I completely agree. And along with that, instead of trying to hit too hard, just wait for the ball to come and just really prioritize that timing on the ball rather than that power.
Yeah, and another observation I had is, especially with this much turn, they don't have a fine leg or a backward square leg. That is singles and doubles for days for these Rising Star batters.
This one is pitched up, pushed to mid off, and they do not take a run. See, as we said, 4 dots this over after that wicket, and that just goes on to show how much harder it is for a new batter to get settled in here. And in such a small run chase with only 9 overs to go, these dots will play a really big role when you get to the back end of this innings.
67 runs needed from 54 balls. With 9 overs remaining, we have Captain Ritu Singh and Kartiki Tia Chowdhury on the crease. Current run rate is 4.82. With those 2 dot balls at the end, it's climbed to the required run rate of 7.44. Alright, Ritu is on the strike end from the other side, and Michaela is the bowler to bowl.
Looks
You
like
know, we have Ritu, who's a very aggressive batter on a wicket that is not suited for aggressive batting. What do you think could be running through the mind if your batting style is aggressive, I think?
I think I would say play your game, take a few balls, and play your game. If that is your role, um, carry on, play your natural game. You will need to wait a little longer, wait a little bit more for the ball to come onto the bat, which if you play a few balls at the start, you will get used to that. But yeah, I'm sure she has the ability to go for it, and I'm sure that's what she's here for too.
Yeah, 100%. Well said, and I think that factor of waiting for that ball is going to be really key into hitting those big shots today and really trying to come back into the game. As
This
popped
is
up.
little bit of miscommunication now in the middle, but they end up reaching their end safely. Safely.
Yeah, I mean, I think the time is now for them to try to get that boundary that they desperately need to get back in this run chase. You know, with these singles anymore, even at 6 and over, they are still below the asking. That is a top ball, taking top of off. Kartiki goes for a 0 off 6 duck. That was a top ball, hitting that perfect length and right on the money.
Yeah. Despite only 3 wickets being down into the 12th over here, the key is that the new batter will take some balls to get settled in, and at this stage, that is really crucial.
Michaela does have some height to that release, and I think that bounce really caught the batter off guard.
Yeah, well said, Shreyas. I think that's a really good analysis by you.
And again, going back to that point of using the wicket as, using that wicket as your weapon. Not really trying to go for wickets as well, just trying to use and hit that deck and let the wicket do all the work.
And Mahadi is the new batter out in the middle, and she will be looking to eat up as minimum dots as possible and start rotating straight away as this required run rate approaches almost 8 and over now.
She did have a good spell in her bowling today. Let's see how she carries it on to her batting as well.
Oh, this is a brilliant shot first up, first ball here by Mahati. This is a touch of class and a hint of great confidence by her. She just pierces that through the gap of backward point and gully, and first ball she shows that she does really know the pitch well. And I'm sure bowling 4 overs on this pitch also helped her understand it really well.
Yeah, I mean, really having that level of patience, and she watched the ball till the end and perfectly hitting that backward point gap, especially on a dry wicket now. And first ball of your innings is very, very mature.
We all know what a first ball boundary does to your confidence. We saw this in the morning with Isani. She went on to score a brilliant half century. This is a little bit of extra bounce here, and they get safely to their ends.
Yes, I do believe that is 100% true. A first ball boundary gives a batter a load of confidence. You know, really going back to this last ball as well, there's a lot of bounce on offer with that height and that high release point, especially with Mahati being a bit shorter than Michaela.
Yeah, well said, Tris.
Captain is on strike here.
Well played, and this is brilliant running by Mahati as well. She seems in great flow today. It really is her day. Hopefully she can carry this on and bring her team home.
Last ball of the 12th over, 60 runs needed in 49 balls. Michaela has only gone for 7 so far, but she also took a wicket with it. 7.35 is the asking run right here.
Yeah, Michaela is really hitting those hard lengths here and really getting the batters on their back foot, along with assistance from the pitch. I think she's doing a great job here, and hats off to the batters too for playing her brilliantly, taking those quick singles, not letting those dots pile up. Absolutely brilliant stuff all around.
Yeah, with 8 overs left, the required run rate is 7.38. And Ritu, the captain, is still in the crease, who is known to play very aggressive and hit those big ones when needed. So, you know, there is a lot of hope still in the Rising Stars dugout. You know, the one thing I think the Hurricanes can do to seal the deal here is get that wicket of Ritu Singh.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, checking this chart too, they still are below the par of the Hurricanes. Bhumika is back into bowl. 2 overs, 9 runs, and 1 wicket are the figures. Mahati is facing her first ball of Bhumika of the day.
And I think this partnership is the one that will decide the fate of this game. I think Ritu obviously being the captain and Mahati looking in great touch. Well
Yeah,
played.
100%. I think Mahati has been looking for those runs since she's come in the first ball.
Yeah. I think bowling on a track and then coming to bat after that also helps you for sure. It helps you understand the wicket better, and Mahati is executing this perfectly right now. She's playing the ball late. She's getting those quick runs. And this is hit hard to point.
And it could be a run out there. Oh, and it just misses. A direct hit would have sent Ritu back into the dugout. You know, in this moment, you would be thinking that Ritu would be at a higher strike rate. Just looking at that, just missed there. Need to go a bit past this clip.
Good bit of fielding. Just the overthrow allows them to complete 2 runs here. And good. And hats off to the batters for being aware and taking that second run. This is
That is
smash
hit.
to.
There is a fielder there.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
a single.
well done by that fielder to really judge that spin. It's never easy to judge that spin and really stop that boundary, especially on an uneven outfield.
Not a lot of chatter in the Rising Stars dugout here. I think a lot of tensions are rising here. This could make or break their tournament.
Um, this has gone through the keeper to the keeper.
So far, only 4 runs in 4 balls. I am sure that both of the Rising Star batter pair want to get some boundary here.
Another great ball, and Mahati misses this.
I think one more ball here, and it could put so much pressure under the Rising Stars batting side.
Yeah, well played by Mahati, just pushing it and keeping the strike to herself.
I think on the contrary, I feel in this moment, Ritu is the one who should be on strike because they do need those big hits. You know, I think a couple of those big hits is what's going to bring them back in the game. And, with them just rotating strike and eating up those dot balls in between is what's putting them in their grave.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that as well. Both these batters look good right now. We know the reputation of Ritu of being a great hitter of the ball. I think she she would be looking to play her natural game pretty soon. But I think despite all of that, I think the Rising Stars are fairly in a decent position still.
42-54. 42 54.
Now, Michaela's second over of the day. She's been hitting those hard lengths, making it difficult for Mahati and Ritu to really try to connect and hit those out of the boundary.
Yeah,
Once again, that hard length,
oh,
and it could have been danger for them.
I reckon a little bit of extra bounce and drifting down leg, which is what caused the umpire to shake his head no to that appeal.
So, Nitik, if you were facing this, a bit of taller bowler, right, and on a wicket that's a bit dead, what would you try to look for when they're trying to hit the deck and use that wicket?
So obviously, along with Michaela being tall, getting the extra bounce, there is also unevenness on the pitch, and it is slow. I'll try to stay as deep in my crease as possible, rather than trying to cover that bounce, as that is the safer option. Just get deep in your crease, play the ball late, and that is what has been working throughout this innings as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's very well said, especially when the wicket's uneven and she's hitting those hard lengths, going for the shorter ones, Getting that extra second to be able to decide what gap you want to hit it in is really going to help, rather than trying to come to the pitch and rush yourself with that uneven bounce.
Yeah, and it's always easier said than done, which we're obviously aware of. But yeah, Mahati looking good out there so far.
It's a good quick run, thrown hard, and it hits Mahati in the back.
And Michaela is bowling a great spell here, just 9 runs off 1.3 overs with 1 wicket as well, a crucial one.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think we're going to need to see some big hits here to really get back in the game. That run rate is climbing. Now it's 53 runs from 39 balls.
Yeah, their quiet run rate just climbing over 8 and over now. Really crucial stage of the game. Brilliantly played by Ritu, and this goes through the gap. Just as we were talking about playing the ball late, this is perfectly executed by Ritu, and she moves on a 10 off 7, putting the pressure back on the bowler and bringing the required run rate back down close to the run rate.
Just looking back at that, brilliantly weighted. She knew that ball was coming off that length and really wanted to hit that gap, and it was brilliantly placed. Very smart execution.
So I think it's important that they capitalize on these medium pacers as much as possible, play the ball late, get those doubles, get those boundaries, because it'll be difficult to hit spin from the other end, especially because the wind is against the batters, along with we all know how the pitch is behaving against spin especially.
Looking at it again, a great shot, but they do have a fielder there this time. It does sneak past again. We have seen that earlier today, and we do see it again. Another boundary for Ritu Singh here off Michaela.
Yeah, crucial phase of the game currently, like brilliant 2 boundaries just now by Ritu Singh. Really waiting for the ball to come, assessing the pitch, knowing that it's slow. Great bit
Yeah,
of work from
I
her.
think in these moments, the bowler really needs help from her team and really needs to stop those boundaries and stop those ones that are going straight at them.
And this is where the experience comes to show. We know that Ritu is a really experienced player. And that's showing. It's on display right now as she's judging the pitch well, pacing her innings well. She's not trying to go after every ball. It's just, it's just great to see.
Yep, 45 runs needed from the last 6 overs. What do you think, Nitek? What do you think? Where do you think this is swaying towards?
I think it's swinging right in the middle right now. I think there's no clear winner. We never know what could happen. Both of these batters look good. I think this is the partnership that makes or breaks the game for the Rising Stars. And
100%, 100% agree. I think that truly is like the correct answer because with a wicket falling, I do believe that is the grave for the Rising Stars. But with this duo sticking through it, especially since they do have some time on the wicket as well, they know what's gonna happen.
these two look like pretty well settled on the crease. Even though they've only played about 10 balls each, they look a lot more settled than other batters that we've seen throughout the day. Really reading the conditions well, and I think this is the partnership that the Hurricanes would want to break.
Yeah, I think in this moment, Mahanti really needs to give strike to her captain here and try to let Ritu just go free reign on him. I
And this
think
is a wide ball by Bhumika. Yeah, this game could go anyone's way right now. 44 runs needed off 35 balls, but if you see a wicket now, all of a sudden it's 28 balls, 44 runs, and then you never know what can happen next.
Yeah, I think it's just a one over game here, you know. One good over, one bad over could do it.
Yeah, it's really important that these two stay till the end. Bhumika has been bowling great throughout the day. This over again, 3 dot balls already.
Pressure's building slowly and slowly with all these dot balls. The run rate's climbing all the way to 8 now. Pressure's building. Pressure is building a lot on the field right now.
Mahati, who did start off with the boundary, has only been able to get 6 runs off her next 13 balls.
Just shows the struggle there. I mean, the pressure's building. It's an important game for both teams. The Hurricanes to secure their spot and the Rising Stars to stay in the tournament and continue their stint in Seattle. Two balls left of Bhumika's over, and Ritu, the captain of the Rising Stars, is on strike. I'm sure she's looking to target some boundary here.
Another wide ball called by the umpire here.
Runs are flowing, but they do need a boundary because of those 3 dot balls that were already played in this over so far.
Required run rate going back to around 8, and that is well played, but it will only be 1 run.
You know, in these moments, I feel as a player, you can understand, and I can understand that these moments are what make or break games. You know, the pressure that is on the field, the pressure the fielders have when the ball comes towards them.
Will go all
Goes.
the way for 4 runs.
A much needed release shot there to really get back into the game. That is what, 8 runs in that over. Just to see this again. They did bring the long off in for this over, really wanting to hit to save the more square region, but since this one did go full, it was capitalized on by Mahati.
Yeah, brilliant work by Mahati to just stand and deliver, move her feet out a little bit, but not step out, and just hit that straight over the bowler's head for 4 runs. I think that was the shot that they needed. You can see that there's clearly a struggle against spin, especially from that end, as the wind is still against the batters. But I think that was a really crucial over. A tight over from that end would have potentially secured a win for the Hurricanes here.
We are reaching towards the end of the fourth game of the tournament.
This is a
Shot.
brilliant shot all the way for 6 runs by Ritu Singh. Brilliant shot by Ritu Singh. Just swept that straight over mid wicket all the way for 6 runs and has lost the ball once again.
Yeah, I think the Cows are getting more visitors than us right now. Balls have been flying into that back lot every single time of the day, you know. A lot of big hits here and clearing the ropes by a fair amount.
Yeah, but this is the type of game where you still don't know who would win until the very last delivery. It may even be 10 runs to win off 20 balls and then a few wickets, a few dots, and the game is back balanced on both sides.
You know, one thing we are missing is our professional fence hopper, Atu, you know. He's been helping us get those balls. He's an umpire also. Did brilliant yesterday in the second game, you know. A lot of balls going there and a lot of balls needing to be fetched from the other side of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, Atu is a really important figure in Seattle cricket. He doesn't get much talk or recognition about him, but he is the unsung hero of Seattle cricket. He's always engaged in youth games, women's games. He's always umpiring, encouraging cricket. So shout out to Atu for that.
Another thing there, looks like that fence pole broke.
Looks like NACC will be having to pay some money in fines today.
Yep. Hopefully not too much, and hopefully not many balls go there for the Hurricanes, and hopefully a lot of balls go there for the Rising Stars.
And I'm sure if Rutu brings this home for her team, she wouldn't mind paying that fine at all.
I'm sure. Couple more sixes and it would be great to take this home for the team.
Just 31 needed off 29 balls, though, but still anyone's game to win from here. This is tossed up once again, and she squeezes this to square leg for 1 run.
4 balls remaining, and that 6 being on Sainavi, someone who had bowled well up until that first ball that landed a bit full. You know, she's been mixing it up with her googly. She's getting a lot of rip on the ball as well. It's going to be interesting to see how Mahdi also deals with this, especially coming in.
Yeah, we're very well said. Very well said, Shreyas. Just a little slower pitch, really helping the bowler here, and a little bit of extra bounce too.
I think the bowlers are realizing that there is a weak point in the spot of trying to get them to cut. You know, I've seen a lot of balls of we talk about that, and it goes up, and it is
Taken. Mahati departs for 14 off 17. The slowness of the pitch got to her, and this is really well bowled by Sainavi, and this is a crucial point in the game.
100%. I think this is a match turning point for them. It's really brought them back in. You know, it's in such a critical moment that one ball can define a game or just take it away.
And I think just after that 6, Sainavi realized that the slower the ball it is, the harder it is to hit. She just tossed this up a little bit more flighted and encouraged Ritu to step out and go for the big hit, which she mistimed and top edged straight into the keeper's hands.
Sanvi Imadi is in too bad here. She had a good bowling spell today. Let's see if she can take it through with her batting as well. And now we do see a lefty facing against a leg spinner, something that is ideal and what they want as a team. But we all know that Sainavi has a very good googly and can take it away from Sanvi as well.
And just as we were speaking, now with a dot and a wicket, run rate approaching almost 8 and over once again, and along with a new batter at the crease.
You know, as soon as we started talking about that, I think Sainavi also picked it up. Her first ball to Sanvi was a googly, trying to get it to turn away from her. I think that is the ploy that's going on right now.
Yeah, yeah. Brilliant thinking by Sonavi. It really shows her experience at this level as well. It's a good tournament for the young upcoming talent to learn from the experienced players. Just see how they go about the game, see how they make those small decisions that end up playing a really big role when results are out.
With 4 overs left, the required run rate is 7.5. The Rising Stars are 90 for 4 with 6 wickets remaining. They need a quick fire, couple boundaries here and there to really get them back and be comfortable in this situation.
And along with everything else, these last 4 overs will be where the pitch will be the hardest throughout this whole day as well, because this pitch only gets harder to bat on as the day progresses. This is swept. Will only get a single though. Little bit of a fumble, but it will still stick to 1 run. Now this is another crucial stage of the game. Sanvi is still not settled in, still a new batter at the crease. If Lassia is able to pile up some dots from this end, this will be a really crucial time in the game.
That is edge and it's running away. Does it have the legs to reach the boundary? It does not. The batters do get 2 off of it, and the run rate is creeping a bit closer to what they want it to be. 27 runs needed in 22 balls for the Rising Star batters with lots of experience on the wicket and in the bowling side. It's anyone's game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's well hit over the bowler's head. They do just get a 1 though, and Ritu is back on strike with 2 balls remaining. With 3 balls remaining, sorry. It's a big swing, getting inside edge there. Might have the legs to go to the boundary.
And it falls just short.
Getting a bit of background noise there from our walkie-talkie.
Asking for a little bit of a battery switch.
I think the walkie-talkie is also nervous, and I'm sure all the ladies are nervous in the ground right now. It's a very critical moment of the match.
And not just in the ground, I think everyone even watching will be nervous too. This game can still go anyone's side.
I have a lot of parents and viewers on the side as well, just really interested in this game right now. That's a big hit, and it's gone
Brilliant
straight like a
shots.
bullet. Racing away to the boundary for 4, exactly what the team needed, and the captain has delivered.
Just 20 runs left to win for the Rising Stars here off 18 deliveries, and if Ritu Singh stays, I can bet that will happen.
Just looking at that replay, that bat lift, and she knew as soon as she saw that go up that that should be departed outside of the boundary.
Yeah, a lot to learn from Ritu Singh's bat swing here. How she loads all the way and gets a brilliant swing all the way through, and also completes that swing all the way down back to her shoulder.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think that smooth swing is really where she gets her timing and that power that she has to clear those ropes, and that too by a fair amount.
Yeah.
It's the final 3 overs, 20 runs needed in 18 balls. A big shout, not given anything. The umpires are unmoved and unchanged. What could that appeal be for? Is it a caught behind or is it a stumping?
I
Let's
think
check
that was
the
an appeal
replay.
for both, but I think it was an appeal for caught behind too. In the replay,
It's a googly there. It's close to the bat as well, but this
I reckon there was no bat on that. It may have flicked the shoulder, brushed the shoulder on the way to the keeper's hands. Brilliant shot, and this will land in no man's land, and they will get 2 runs for this actually. Brilliant running.
great effort from Ritu, multiple times diving today. That jersey just shows that the effort that she's trying to put in to win this game for her team.
Yeah, she's almost blooded into being one of the Hurricanes, almost turning completely red.
Another googly again that's gone up in the air. It's
This-
going to fall short of the long off fielder. They get 1 run, and Sinevi is bowling brilliantly with those googlies. We talked about that before, that ploy of just keeping googlies and letting it turn away from the lefty. So it was
This-
a close one.
I think that dive really saved her there. And this is once again in the air, and the keeper is not able to get to it. They get 1 run again.
2 balls remaining in this over. 17.4, 104 runs for the Rising Stars. A big swing from Ritu there. Pooja could not reach that. Just out of reach, even with that dive at the end.
I think one thing that the Rising Stars need to make sure here is to not lose a wicket, because that will be the most important factor here. No matter how much batting there is to come, they need to ensure that they don't lose a wicket now.
From Sanvi, or is she going to try to go for a big one and bring it back in?
I think she will look to rotate it unless she gets a horrible delivery.
Was a
And-
big swing, and it did turn away. Very smart bowling from Sinevi, and it completes her brilliant spell of 4 overs, 25 runs, and 2 wickets. 2 overs left, 15 runs needed. 2 batsmen who are in the wicket. All right, final 2 overs here. Akshara is into bowl, only conceding 8 runs in her 2 overs so far.
Oh, and
Bad.
this has gone straight up. Akshara will look to take this herself, and she's put it down.
Tensions are rising everywhere. Everyone is on their feet. The people who are watching have their hands on their heads. This is an intense game. A simple catch that was dropped needs to be taken in these moments. These are match-defining catches.
I think it.
Heart beating fast, you know, these moments are crazy.
And I also think the sun would have been right in her eyes.
That is a brilliant hit, and it's hit very well, and it races to the boundary for 4. Ritu is doing it for the Rising Stars here.
Not a bad ball by Akshara, but it just shows the quality and experience of Ritu Singh here. Brilliant shot by her. Looking to maximize this over to keep the pressure as low as possible in the final over.
Again, looking at that bat swing, she just goes free flow into it and really backs herself on those shots to send it out of the ground. Tensions are rising here. It's anyone's game. A wicket could seal the deal for the Hurricanes, and a couple boundary seals the deal for the Rising Stars.
Yeah, just 10 runs to win off. Oh, and that's a brilliant delivery by Akshara. Really pulling the length back a little bit and letting the pitch do its job.
Yep. There's 9 balls left, 10 runs needed to win. Just watch that back. It's a much better, harder length. You know, when we talked about letting the pitch do it work. Good, well done. Good comeback by Akshara there.
Akshara will be looking to get another dot out of this ball. And
That's
it's
gone
straight up. And will the keeper get under it?
What a
And
catch
a brilliant
by Pooja.
catch.
That
And
is a amazing catch under pressure, taking that wicket of the captain Ritu Singh.
is this the game here? Ritu Singh was the set batter in. She was playing the role of the aggressor, and now it will be a new batter coming to face with just 8 deliveries left.
The Hurricanes are ecstatic in the ground right now. That wicket is what they needed to get back in. Ritu's disappointed. Ritu's very disappointed. She couldn't take the game home, but now it's up to the rest of the Rising Star batting lineup to get these 10 runs from 8 balls. Ritu set it up. Now it's time for her team to help her out.
Brilliant knock by Ritu Singh. Gotta give her all the credit there is to offer. I think she played a true captain's knock, as we have seen actually throughout the day. Every team's captains have been playing great knocks, doing great, and Ritu Singh just carried forward that trend. It's just up to the rest of her team to finish this game and bring it home for them. Still anyone's game to win here.
Yeah, I think we didn't get to talk about that wicket, but I felt like that option of hitting the deck and getting that ball to bounce in the wicket really caught Ritu off guard and gave some extra bounce, would let her lead it up and let Pooja take that catch of the opposing captain. A quick single, well done to get off strike. Very first ball. 1 ball remaining in this over.
Sanvi might just look to get a single off this ball and keep strike to herself for the final over.
Yeah, it's never easy to get in and start hitting right away. Let's see where this goes. It's a
Brilliant
big hit.
shot, and this will go for 4 runs. A brilliant shot by Sanvi, and the pressure is off the Rising Stars for the final over, and rather on the Hurricanes.
Yeah, 100% agreed. This is a moment that is changing the match. That I told you, these in T20s, 1 ball is what defines a match, and in this game, this ball has just defined the Rising Stars match. The Hurricanes are under pressure, especially after getting Ritu out, they are still in a position of losing right now. Mahi into bowl the last over, and the new batter Swara is here to face 5 runs from 6 balls. Pressure is on. 5 runs needed in the last 6 balls. Just a rotation of strike every ball will do it for the Rising Stars. Not too
And Mahi will
we
bowl
look
the
at-
last over.
Sorry to disturb, but if you look at that economy rate, 2 overs and 2 runs given. If anyone can do it on this team, I believe it is Mahi. With that economy rate, especially with the new ball, when the wicket was a lot better than it is now, she was able to maintain just 1 run per over.
Thing with 5 runs to win in the final over in such a game on such a wicket is you still don't know who could win. You could get a boundary here and the game is done, or you could also get a couple of dots and all of a sudden it's 4 balls, 5 runs, and the pressure is back on the batters.
100%. Cricket's a funny game.
And this is a wide ball by Mahi. Now there are only 4 runs to win. A top edge, a edge, a full toss, a great shot. Anything can close the game here now.
But you never know. The tension is always on everyone in the ground in these critical moments.
This
That is hit
is.
well. It is hit. There is a fielder there.
They
They
will
stay
stick
with
to
one.
one.
It's well placed. Just needing 3 runs now to seal the deal with 5 balls remaining. The Rising Stars are in a very good position to win this game.
And this is actually a really important single in the context of this game. Suarez done a great job to give strike back to the batter in touch and who is settled at the crease.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, going back to that point, she just hit a boundary and she knows what's happening with the wicket. But you never know. It could be anyone's game. A quick wicket here and a quick wicket there can really change the tides.
And they have actually made a field change. They have brought covers to the boundary and brought in long off to mid off. I reckon she will try to bowl this wide, potentially wide Yorkers here, trying to keep it as far away from Sanvi's arc as possible.
Yeah, it's a very good, smart idea. I mean, they have their short third on the circle and their point a bit backward. So as a batter, I feel maybe she might also be expecting. It could be a bluff also to try to get her caught off guard.
There is a possibility she might go for a harder length as well, as she has brought the long off in. This is well played. This is really well played by Sanvi, and she will get 2 runs for this. And the scores
Are leveled.
are not leveled. There's
They are leveled.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
scores are leveled now. There is just 1 run to win for the Rising Stars now with 4 deliveries remaining. Great game of cricket. And hats off to Sanvi for bringing it this close. And how's that?
Pressure is on. Just 1 run left. Everybody comes in, but it does look like the Rising Stars are going to take this through. Or we could be seeing our first super over of the tournament, I think. Who knows? Who knows?
Still 3 balls to go, or 4 balls to go. Still 4 dots. Field is closed now, so anything could still happen. And a miss over here. Brilliant ball by Mahi.
There's 3 balls remaining to get 1 run. The pressure is on the fielders and the bowlers here. With everybody in, the batters just need 1 run in the next 3 balls to seal the deal. Any swing, any slight connection in the gap, and it is the Rising Stars game.
And she gets this, and the game is sealed here.
And that is game for the Rising Stars. What a brilliant chase. Chasing 120 with the Hurricanes on a difficult track and a difficult wicket.
Shout out to Ritu Singh for a brilliant knock, and the rest of the team as well. Obviously, Sanvi playing a really important role. Swara coming in at the end, making those crucial singles, giving strike back to Sanvi, along with their bowlers bowling great in the first innings. We had Sanvi bowling a great spell. We had
Suhani also bowling a great
Suhani bring
spell.
a great spell. Yeah.
You know, with this game and with this win, the hopes are still alive for the Rising Stars, and the Hurricanes with this loss are lost the top spot on the table. We will see tomorrow in the next following games how the playoff run plays out. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow.